Certainly Ted Cruz has been out in front and very misleading by saying that the last 18 years has been no increase in temperature. And he's referring to the satellite temperature record and the fact that in 1997-98, the big El Nino event had very high temperatures in the lower and middle part of the troposphere. But this is not true when you look at the entire temperature record from satellites, which goes back to 1979. And then there's a very distinct upward trend. Certainly there was a blip in 1997-98 with that El Nino event, and it hasn't been as large in this current El Nino event. But the presence of an upward trend in that record is very clear. And it's even clearer now in the global mean surface temperature record. And the latest values from November are just out. And so the temperatures for 2015 are running more than 1 degree C above pre-industrial values. The 2015 value is a major jump up above all of the previous values, up above 2014. 2014 was already the warmest year on record, and so the so-called hiatus period, such as it was from 2000 to 2013, where the rate of temperature rise was not as great, is certainly over, and we're jumping up, taking the next, what I refer to as the staircase, because often, rather than simply a straight line rise in temperature, it's more like a staircase up, and we're, I think, going up that next stair to the next level. Well, we're here at AGU, and there's a session on the hiatus at AGU on Thursday afternoon. I'm participating along with Tom Carl and several others, and then there is a panel discussion later on. And I produced a slide for that panel discussion, which is simply a linear trend plus a sine curve. And with the sine curve, when you add these two things together, when the sine curve is going up, it looks more like a step function up, and then when the sine curve is going down, things level off. And so it does actually end up looking more like a staircase going up. And it just shows you that if you have variability superimposed upon a linear trend, then that's more or less what you end up with, something that looks maybe a little bit more like a staircase.
Okay, so do we expect that, if this is correct, do we expect that a increased rate of warming would kick in over the coming decade or two?
Well, what we expect, what has happened in the past is that you get kicked up to this next level on the overall staircase, and although there are fluctuations about that new level, it never ever goes back down to the values that we saw previously. And so I think we're taking that step up, and 2016 is apt to be reasonably warm. I don't know it'll be warmer than 2015, but because already this El Nino is sort of hesitated and come back again, and so it's an unusual development in the way in which it's playing out already, and we could talk about that some more maybe. The key thing is that even with the next La Nina and other fluctuations that go on, we don't expect it'll dive all the way back down to previous levels, and so global warming continues.